All right. We are back. We are back. Salute to everybody that's in the building. This is the Hater World. I'm your host, Blue Devil. You already know. Check this out before we start. To any new subscribers, any new watchers, make sure you subscribe. If you are new, let me know down below in the comments. All right. If you are day one, a day two, or a day three, salute to you. You already know. Salute to the squad. Other than that, we got a Blue Devil reaction today. We got a video. We got a video of me from a few years ago. Now, look, I guess somebody is like creating pages trying to make me look bad, so they're finding all the clips of me and trying to put a montage together, like a bunch of little clips. And all true reality, all they're doing is helping me. They're clipping my videos, which is making me go more viral. And plus, the video is making money, so that money is coming to me. Plus, now I'm remembering clips that I forgot about that I could put on my page, right? Or react to. So, in all true reality, that fool's doing me a favor, right? Because nothing I said or nothing that I've done on the internet can make me ever look bad. What one man says is nothing compared to his actions. So, anybody can say what they want about me, but if they do not put actions behind it, then it means nothing. And those are the facts that you cannot deny. Now, people can sit here and try to lie and make up stories, but we all can. We all can. You have to prove it. You have to show us. And if you don't show us, you're woofing. And what do we call them? Yeah, exactly. So look, we got this video that we're gonna react to. It says The Hater World. Blue Devil gets scared of his own hood. Now this video popped up on my For You page. Bam. And so I guess it's of me being scared or something. So we're gonna go ahead and watch it and react to it. But real quick before we do, tonight we got a late night live with Güero, Trap Boy, and Playboy. 11 p.m. Pull up. Güero, Trap Boy, and Playboy tonight at 11 p.m. They go on to like 2, 3 in the morning. So make sure you guys pull up. They're gonna be fire. And other than that, I'm looking for a couple of new beats, something up to date. So if you got beats, send them to my send them to my Gmail, bluedevilreacts at gmail.com. Bluedevilreacts at gmail.com. All right. And with that being said, let's go ahead and watch this video and see what's going on. Now, look, it's a minute long. So we're going to play the whole video and then we're going to come back and I'm going to react to it to the best of my abilities. And once again, if you're a new watcher here, make sure you subscribe. We're on the road to 75,000. Every subscription counts. I appreciate you. All right. And if you do subscribe, welcome to the squad. Let me know down below. All right. Let's go ahead and press play and see how bad Blue Devil looks in this video. All right. Let's go.
This now, say this again. When I
Oh,
got
wait, wait,
into
wait,
my
wait,
hood,
wait, 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 wait. My bad. My bad. Let's go.
listen, I'll say this and I'll say this again. When I got into my hood, I remember my older homie told me like this: you better be ready to die or go to prison for life. Bro, I was like 11 to 12. I was scared as shit. I stopped coming around until I was ready. I literally did not come around for a whole year, bro, until mentally I said, you know what? I want this. I'm not gonna shit you or lie to you. Bro, when he told me those words, I was like, fuck, I'm 11. I don't wanna die. I don't wanna go to prison. You know, those are some scary shit. But at least the homeboy was straight up with me. And, you know, I went away and came back and said, you know what, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm getting myself into. Let's do it. I never blame nobody for shit. So when people get busted and they start blaming their homeboys like, fool, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't get busted. Fool, if it wasn't for... Bitch, motherfucker. You're the one that decided to do that shit. Don't be a ranker now, homeboy. Agárrate los huevos, güey.
Oh, all right. All right. So now let's go back to this. All right. Check this out. All right. That was a story that I told a few years ago about me joining my gang. Now, look, I don't glorify gangs. I don't sit here and tell people to join gangs. But I do always say if you're gonna join one, then you have to be full throttle. If not, don't do it at all, right? Don't be halfway in, bro, because that's how you're gonna end up busted or dead. All right, so look. That was a video I did a few years back. I don't know what I was doing or who I was talking about. Usually I implement my stories into a reaction. So let me break it down for you, all right? When I was in middle school, right? When I was in middle school, I was already, jumping off the porch. My big brother, I have a big brother that's older than me, and I always saw him kick it with his homies, and he was from a gang and all that. So, I always seen it. I was always around it. Plus my cousins and stuff like that, right? And so when I was in middle school, I gravitated towards a group of homies, and at that point, they were the underdogs, and that's what I liked. I liked being the underdog, being underestimated, but always coming out on top. And that's why I gravitated towards the group the group of friends that I built that I have, right? And so we were all young kids. We were all in middle school. Like, I don't know, how old are you in middle school? Like 12 maybe? We were all in middle school. So there were all the friends that were all around my age, right? They were all middle school, seventh grade, eighth grade. We're all around the same ages. So it was cool because we were all kids. But when one of them kids, and I'll say his name, my homeboy Toker, when he took me to go kick it with the older heads from my hood, right? When we went to go kick it with the older heads, that was different. No longer are these kids in my same age bracket. Now these fools are in, high school and older. They're already 20, 22, 23, and some in high school and some even older than that, right? Now it's a different story. Now you're not around kids that are your age, right? And you know how it is. Some homies are different vibes than the other homies. Some homies are more laid back. Some homies are more like more active. Some homies are more like with the bullshit. Every homie is different in their own way, right? So I started kicking it with this other homie named Smokes. Salute to my boy Smokes. He knows who he is, right? He was an older cat. He already had been to YA a gang of times. He was already used to always getting locked up. He was already seasoned, right? But he was older. He was in high school. He was already like, I don't know, I would say like 11th, 12th grade. But he was already going to juvenile hall, going to YA. He was already doing that whole shit. The whole shabam, right? And he was older. And he was fully activated with everything, right? And here I am, a 12-year-old kid, my boy, right? I'm jumping off the porch. I'm kicking it with these guys. They're my friends, right? I'm seeing them fight at school with their enemies. So I'm participating and it's all fights and shit like that, right? But now I go kick it with the gunslingers. Now I'm hanging out with the gunslingers, the fools that are going to jail, the fools that are smoking, all kinds of crazy shit. The fools that are not caring about life. None of that, bro. So one time after school, I walked to my homie Smoke's pad. I walked to his pad, boom, and I'm kicking out of his pad. I'm chilling, right? And then he goes, "You ready to get in or what?" And I was ready until he said what he said, right? He was like, "Look, I'm gonna let you know. Once you join, you better be ready to die or go to prison for life." Bro, I was 12. That shit put fear into me. I was like, die? Why the fuck I'm gonna die? I understood like how gangs worked, but not fully mentally was I ready, right? And I said, why would I go to prison for life? Right? I know it comes with it, but you never process that as a young kid until you're fully out there. Once you're fully out there and you doing all the fuck shit, that's when that's when you understand, like, I whatever I do, this was gonna happen. But when you're barely stepping into it, you're barely learning, they're barely letting you know, that's when you don't take it as serious, right? So when he told me that, I remember I was like, damn, do I really want this? Right? And it was like a summer. It was already the summer school was coming to the point where school was about to be out. So I remember when that happened, I was just like, man, do I really want this? And then summer came. Summer came, right? And what I did is I went to vacation to Mexico. I went with my dad and I stayed out there for like, I don't know, like until school came back. It was like half a year or like 3 4 months, right? But I stayed longer. I ended up staying for like 6 7 months. And then when I came back, I ended up going back to the same school in eighth grade because I was in seventh, I believe, eighth grade. Same friends were still there, same homies, right? Same people I knew. And when I came back, because I already had been in Mexico and all that, I said, I'm ready for this. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I want to do this. I already was, maybe it doesn't seem like a long time, but a year older, right? My mind was a little bit more open. I had just came back from Mexico and I seen how rugged and wicked that was. I had spent time with my older brother and saw the things he was doing. So now I understood a little bit more, right? So now I come back around, right? Still young, 12 and a half, 13, I don't know. And I said, I'm ready for this. Let's roll, right? Let's go. And it's been rock and rolling with the same friends since then. Every single one of my friends that I have from that time still come here. I still talk to them. They pull up all the time. You guys see them in the videos. All right. All my stories are with them. They're my childhood friends. Uh, I get along with every single one of my homies. There's not one that I don't get along with. Might have a little bit differences here and there, but for the most part, they're all my people. Uh, and when I got in, I'll tell you like this. After then, I never blamed anybody for anything that happened to me. I've been to jail at least 30 times, and I've never blamed nobody. I've been charged with some big ass crimes. I never blamed nobody. I've been shot multiple times, and I never blamed nobody. I've been stabbed in the head, in the back, and I've never blamed nobody. I've been ran over, and I never blamed nobody. Now I know what a lot of people are gonna say. Like, well, the haters, right? Damn, you're a victim. No, no. When you're out here playing the game, for those things that are done to you, most likely you do to them. All right. So that's what it comes with. Motherfuckers shooting you down, gunning you down. That's because you doing some gunning down too. But we're not here to glorify or talk about any of that, right? But the point that I want to make is that I didn't blame nobody. I know there's people out there that blame people like, damn, bro, I got into a gang and that fucked my life up and they did it to me and because of them I went to prison. No, your choices, your life. It was your life, bro. You decided to join a gang. You decided to follow in line. You decided to claim that hood. You decided to grab that pistol. See, with me, maybe that would have been me if I would have joined when my homie told me to join. Maybe I would have been blaming everybody. Like they forced me into it or they told me to do it. That's why I wasn't comfortable at that time and I left and came back when I was ready. And I went full throttle and I earned my name and I earned my keep. And you can ask any of my homies, they all know who I am. Now people can make fun of the shit they do, and I've seen the old man that runs his mouth. Listen, dog, that's all they do. They're not gonna come outside and play, right? So again, if you go and join a gang and that's what you want to do, I'm not advising you. I hope you don't. But if that's what you want to do, you gotta go full throttle, my boy. Because if you half-ass it, you're gonna die or go to jail, and that's a fact. But I'm glad my homeboy gave me that advice or told me that when he told me that because if he would have not told me that, you better be ready to die or go to prison for life. If he wouldn't have told me that, maybe I would have been blaming him right now. Maybe I would have been in prison for life. My first charge as an adult, they were trying to sentence me to 14 years. You know, my first charge as an adult, right? My first charge as an adult. Now, juvenile hall, I did the juvenile hall thing. I did a few different cases, a few different. I think I one time I did like a year. The other time I did like 6 months, right? But yeah, my first charge as an adult was like 14 years. Uh, beat that real quick, you know. But again, we're not here to glorify any of that. We're not here to try to make gangs sound like they're good. I was just reacting to this video because what of that video can make me look bad? That I left, that I was afraid at 12. I was a little boy, right? I didn't know what I wanted in life. Uh, but now I know that that decision is what molded me into the man that I am today, right? I'm a full blown man that takes care of responsibilities, families. All right. I help out all the homies that I can help out. I help out those that are around me. I help out people on the internet that I've never met. What do you do? So the guy that's trying to like knock me down in that video, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Yeah, nothing. You run your mouth on the internet. You should feel ashamed of yourself. What do? I help out many people. I bring many people on my platform. I help out people online, in person, my homies, my homegirls, my family, other families, you know. But here you are trying to make me look bad, which you can't. Nothing I've ever said on the internet can make me look bad. It's just crazy, right? Because I don't tell my story, people think it's a lie. I was telling Opina the other day, which is for those that don't know, it's one of the co-hosts. I was giving them a story, and I go, "Fool! Imagine if I were to tell that story, these fools would think it came out of a movie, you know, or this story or that story. Like they wouldn't believe it." That's why I don't tell my stories because most people won't believe it. But this is how we're gonna end this on tonight's late night live. We're gonna do a segment within the live where we all tell a story every live, one story each. All right, and I got a good story. I got a good story of when my paisa neighbor got lied on by his wife, by his ex girl, and got him 3 strikes and life in prison. And I was the only one that could have helped him get out of that bind because I saw it all unfold, but I could not. I could not help him because you know how that. I'll explain it, but the powers that be. We can't be put on paperwork. I saw this. Even though it was for a good cause. Sorry, and I saw an innocent man get life. Make sure you guys pull up tonight, 11 p.m. Salute to everybody. To that guy that clipped that video, appreciate you. Keep clipping. All right, I'll keep reacting. I'll keep reacting. All right. And to everybody else, if you're a new watcher, don't be a recurring. Subscribe. Salute to everybody. Comment down below. Let me know some about you. I will pin the best comment. I will pin the best comment. All right. Salute to everybody. I'll see you on tonight's live. And with that being said, you already know I'm Blue Devil, Hater World, and we out.